I'm going to be real with you all. There are 4 things you are going to hate about regulating your nervous system and healing your chronic pain and symptoms. Number 1, it's kind of slow. If you've had debilitating chronic symptoms for years, it is going to take time to create a deep sense of safety, to gain an ability to easily shift between nervous system states and to see reductions in your chronic symptoms. Healing takes time. Now, where I see people go wrong is they compare their healing to a person that healed within a month. Now, in context, that's 1 in 1,000. I'm serious. 1 in 1,000 people probably heal their debilitating chronic symptoms in 1 month. But everyone compares their healing progress to that person. And that becomes a problem because now people are being critical of themselves, they're blaming themselves, and they think they're doing everything wrong. It's really important for you to all understand that healing takes time. It's slow, and that is normal. So you need to stop being hard on yourself that you're not that 1 in 1,000 person that got better in a month. In my therapy practice, I've been doing this for several years. I have worked with 1 person out of hundreds that healed within a month. That almost never happens because if you have childhood adversity, trauma, deep distrust in your body, and you believe your body's broken or fragile, you've faced social danger, and you've been suppressing emotions for a long time, that's going to take time to reverse. It's going to take time to rewire your brain and nervous system. So I want you to just slow it down. Settle into healing. Accept that it is going to take time. It's going to be slow, and that's normal. But every day you work on your healing, you are 1 step closer to getting better. Number 2, it takes consistent effort. Meditation, breath work, cognitive strategies, somatic work with symptoms and emotions, and lifestyle changes are all part of the deal. Where I see people go wrong is they want the results without doing the work. And I don't say that in a critical way. This is just human nature. We all want the beautiful results of whatever we're chasing. In this case, we want the result of being pain or symptom free. But most of us don't want to do the work. And this narrative I hear a lot of the time is that it's unfair that I have to do all of this, that I have to regulate my nervous system, that I have to do all these strategies just to function in life. And you're right, it is unfair that you have to do all of this and other people do not. So I truly get that. I want to validate that. But living in this narrative of it's unfair and being rageful about having to do all of this is going to keep your nervous system dysregulated and keep your pain and symptoms going. It's going to maintain them or even worsen them. And so we need to break out of this narrative that it's unfair that we have to do all of this because it's not going to help your healing. Now, I like to differentiate blame and responsibility. Now, truly, you are not to blame for your chronic symptoms. You are not to blame for your nervous system dysregulation. You are not to blame for your trauma. I really want you to hear that. But the responsibility is in your hands. You need to do the consistent healing work to get better. You can read the books, use the apps, meet with your therapist or coach 3 times a week. But outside of that, if you're not putting in the consistent work, you just won't get better. And I believe each and every one of you watching this video has the ability to consistently do the work. I truly do believe in that. I see that every day in my therapy practice and with people in my digital course. People are capable of way more than they believe. And so you can do the healing work consistently. So I have an assignment for you for this week. Each day, I want you to do 3 daily practices. This could be a cognitive strategy. This could be an embodiment practice, which is somatic work with your symptoms or your emotions. It could be a safety signal practice like breath work, some sort of meditation, somatic movement, visualization. Pick whatever you want. Oh, it could also be a lifestyle choice. So you could be making differences in your lifestyle and working towards safety that way. But I want you to pick 3 daily practices that you are going to commit to doing every single day this week. So 3 practices a day, every day this week. This is going to help you get some consistency going. And it's important to understand that motivation doesn't just come out of nowhere. You're not going to have this euphoric moment of motivation where you just dive into the work. Action breeds motivation. The more consistent actions you put in, the more motivated you will feel. And so by doing these 3 daily practices every day this week, by the end of the week, you're going to feel more motivated to do even more. Number 3, it's unpleasant. Nervous system regulation requires you to attend to sensations inside, and they usually don't feel very good. Now, when people come to a brain-based approach, they have a very distorted view of what their healing is going to look like. This is really common. People have this distorted view that healing is going to be beautiful. It's going to be magical. And so they think that every single day as they do the work, they're going to feel more calmness, more Zen-like feelings, more pleasantness within. But then that doesn't occur because it's just not going to occur. Healing is much more about doing the next hard step. And so one of those hard steps is learning to attend to unpleasant sensations within. That can be pain, symptoms, emotions, and dysregulation in your nervous system. So we need to practice several times a day, dropping out of our minds into our body and start to focus on the sensations. Describe them. Do they feel heavy, tense, burny, tingly? Start to deepen your connection. Sit with them longer. Explore them with curiosity. Learn what they do moment to moment. Do they shift or change? And so we're getting this exposure to the unpleasant sensations within. And as we do that, we're also using safety signals to create a sense of safety with the unpleasant sensations, such as breath work, safe self-talk, present moment sensing, or visualization. And so this needs to happen in order to heal. I hate telling you all this. I'd love to say that you could just do breath work 2 hours a day and you'll get better. That's not it. Because in order to get to a place of nervous system regulation and pain and symptom reduction, we need to go through the unpleasant sensations. There's no way to skip this step. And as we start to get more exposure to the unpleasant sensations inside, the reason this works so well is your brain starts to reappraise that the sensations are safe, that you can tolerate them, that you no longer need to fear them. And as that happens, pain and symptoms reduce, your nervous system becomes more and more regulated. And so please know that if your healing is feeling unpleasant, it's feeling hard, that is normal. Now, to get you started, I will put in a link in the description of this video for an embodiment practice with your pain and symptoms. This is all about starting to focus on the unpleasant sensations and create safety with them. So, after this video, watch that practice and start to get some of that exposure that you need in order to heal. Number 4, you probably need to change your life. Relationship changes? Sometimes. Expressing emotions? Often. And changing routines to better meet your needs? Almost always. See, the cognitive and somatic skills are only going to take you so far. Here's what I see happen with people. They start to use all the cognitive and somatic skills, and they're getting better. They're getting better. They're getting better. And then they plateau. And they plateau because their life and their lifestyle is still perpetually sending signals of danger to them. And so changing your lifestyle is often essential to heal your chronic symptoms and regulate your nervous system. And I get that this is terrifying. It was one of the last things I did. But I started small, and the lifestyle changes I made helped my healing take off. So I started to communicate differently with my wife. We even went to some therapy together to work through some of our issues. I took small steps towards my career and getting to where I wanted to be in my career. I started to cut toxic friends out of my life. I started to hang out with friends more that were safe and supportive for me. I started new hobbies and I started to exercise. All these changes were needed for me to have that deep feeling of safety. And so it's really important to understand that the micro cognitive and somatic skills are not the full picture of healing. In order to heal, you need to change the way you live, because your brain does not change just based on what you practice. It changes based on how you live. So here's a challenge for you. I want you to reflect on 3 things about your life that would need to be different in order for you to feel safer. And then next, I want you to break down all the small steps that you would need to take in order to achieve these 3 lifestyle changes. Then take action. And by doing this, even if the steps are really small, you're moving in the right direction. And your nervous system is going to feel safer and safer as you start to change your life. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Please put your questions and comments down below, and I'll talk to you all soon. Take care.